Well, hello, eighth grade, and welcome to week 9 of quarantine. I wanted to start with something a little more serious this week. In the middle of last week, we found out for sure that Maryland will not be going back to school this year. As much as I love sleeping in, I was deeply saddened by this news. However, just because I won't see you in person again doesn't mean that I still don't have a lot to teach you. And it doesn't mean that you don't have a lot to learn before you leave middle school forever. We are making history together right now. As a teacher for 13 years, I have had over 1,300 students. Some of them I remember really, really well, and some of them I don't really remember at all. But you guys will always be the 38th graders that I taught during quarantine. So, if we're going to be making history, we may as well give them something good to talk about. So, let's get to work. The Civil War is a very unique time in history because I have found it polarizing. What I mean is, people either love learning about the Civil War and are very interested in it, or they think it's the most boring period in all of history. As you looked up last week, a civil war is one that happens within the confines of your own political territory, kind of like what's going on in all of your houses right now.
I want to watch Statue on TV. Well, I don't. Why? It's a good show. You always want to watch it. Why does this time I want to watch it? You don't.
So, when I say the Civil War, what I really mean is the American Civil War. And the country was so politically divided before the war started that in the 1860 election, 10 southern states didn't even put Abe Lincoln's name on the ballot. We covered a lot of that last week too. The differences between the North and the South and their battle over new territory slowly coming into the country. Even though Abe Lincoln's name wasn't on the ballot, he won by a landslide electoral college vote. So, a lot of states felt that when they joined the country, they also kept the right to leave it. So they did. And South Carolina was the first to be followed by many others in the next 6 months. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. This week, you're going to look at the development of the Republican Party and how Abe Lincoln came to power within it. Abe Lincoln was our 16th president and the first one to be categorized as a Republican. This week, you're also going to look through some links to several events that took place leading up to the Civil War and make a flow chart of how these events caused the next one. So let's take a look at my computer and see what you're gonna do. Okay, 8th grade, here is your Civil War Part 1 Week 9 folder. There are 4 links, just like last week and the weeks prior. This will start Tuesday at noon and is due next Monday by noon. This is the introduction video that you are currently watching. Here is your assignment page. These are the same links that are on the assignment page, but here they're already linked up for you. If these don't work, you can of course copy and paste them off the Word document. And then at the bottom is where you're going to turn in your assignment. Let's look at the Word document together. Just like the last couple of weeks, we're going to start with vocab. You may download this to your computer to type on it. You may print it out and handwrite it, or you can type it on a totally different Word document and send it back. I'll know which ones are with which questions. First day is vocab, then a crash course history video. We're going to answer 3 questions. Second day, you're going to go to this link and examine Abe Lincoln and the Republican Party, filling out this graphic organizer. Again, you can either type in this, type somewhere separate, type on a PowerPoint slide, however you want to do this. And then days 4 and 5 are the sequence of events leading up to the Civil War. I've given you several different things you can look at, and what you'll do is you will select 1, 2, 3, 4 of them to get to the beginning of the Civil War. I've done 1 for you as an example, so you are just selecting a few more.
Okay, good luck and let me know if you have questions.
Now, do your best with this information. It would have been really fun to teach you this in person. So if you aren't sure how to do something, first, just do your best. Or, of course, you can send me an email and I'd be glad to help you out. So long for now. I'll see you next week when we move into double digits with week 10 of quarantine.